Look, I get it. You've probably watched those videos where someone's like, I made $50,000 from one bug, and you're sitting there thinking, I want a piece of that. So you Google how to start bug bounty hunting, and boom, you're hit with 1,000 tutorials, tools with weird names, and everyone's throwing around terms like IDOR, SSRF, and you're just like, what language is this? Here's the truth nobody wants to tell you. Most people quit within the first 2 weeks, not because they're not smart enough, but because they approach it all wrong. Today, I'm going to show you how to actually get started without losing your mind. This isn't some become a hacker in 10 days nonsense. This is the real path, the one that actually works. First thing first, let's kill the fantasy right now. Bug bounty hunting is not your ticket to quick cash. If you're only here for the money, you're going to hate every second of it and probably quit before you find your first bug. Think of it like this. It's like wanting to become a musician just for the record deal. Yeah, the money's nice, but if you don't actually love music, you'll never make it through the boring practice sessions, the failures, the rejections. The people who actually succeed in bug bounties, they're the ones who get excited when they break something. They're the ones who see a website and think, I wonder what's happening behind the scenes here. It's curiosity that drives them, not dollar signs. So ask yourself right now, are you genuinely interested in how things work and how they break? If yes, keep watching. If no, this might not be your thing, and that's totally fine. Here's a mistake I see all the time. People download Burp Suite, install Kali Linux, grab 50 different tools, and then they have no idea what to do with any of them. It's like buying a professional chef's knife set when you can't even chop an onion properly. The tools don't make you a hacker. Understanding makes you a hacker, so before you touch any fancy tools, you need to understand the basics. And I mean really understand them. What you actually need to know. How does a website talk to a server? What's actually inside an HTTP request? How do cookies work? Why do they exist? What's the difference between client-side and server-side? This sounds boring, I know. But here's the thing, every bug you'll ever find comes down to these fundamentals. You're not memorizing stuff for a test. You're building the lens through which you'll see vulnerabilities. And here's my advice. Pick one vulnerability type and obsess over it. Let's say SQL injection. Don't just learn, oh, it's when you put quotes in a form. No. Learn, why does it happen? What's actually going on in the database? What are the different ways to exploit it? How do developers defend against it? And what mistakes do they make? Become a total nerd about that one thing. Because once you truly understand one vulnerability from the inside out, learning others becomes way easier. You start seeing patterns. All right, so you've learned some basics. What now? Here's what you don't do. Immediately go to some random company's website and start messing around. That's a great way to get banned, sued, or worse. You need a practice playground, somewhere you can break stuff legally. Here's where to start. PortSwigger Web Security Academy. Seriously, this is gold. It's free, it's hands-on, and it covers pretty much every major web vulnerability. You're not just watching videos, you're actually exploiting real vulnerabilities in a safe environment. TryHackMe or HackTheBox. These are like gyms for hackers. Start with the beginner rooms, work your way up. The feeling when you finally solve a challenge? Chef's kiss. Set up your own vulnerable apps like DVWA or Juice Shop. Install them locally, break them, fix them, break them again. This is where you build real skills. But here's the secret sauce that nobody talks about enough. Read other people's bug reports. Go to HackerOne or BugCrowd. Look at the publicly disclosed reports and don't just skim them. Study them like you're Sherlock Holmes. Ask yourself, what made them test that specific thing? How did they notice something was off? What was their testing process? How did they escalate it? This is literally free education from people who are getting paid for bugs. You're learning their thinking process, their approach, their creativity. Okay, this is the part that separates people who find bugs from people who just waste time. You need to develop what I call hacker eyes. When most people see a website, they see a website, a login form, a search bar, whatever. When you look at a website, you should see questions. What happens if I mess with this URL parameter? Can I upload something that's not an image here? What if I intercept this request and change the user ID? Does this email verification actually verify anything? Everything becomes a puzzle. Everything has a what if, and here's the hard truth. You're going to fail. A lot. You'll spend hours on a target and find nothing. You'll think you found something, submit it, and it gets marked as not applicable or duplicate. That's going to sting. But this is the game. The best hunters are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who fail 100 times and still show up for attempt 101. Every failed test teaches you something. Every rabbit hole you go down, even the dead ends, they're building your intuition. Over time, you start to feel where bugs might be hiding. Let me give you a simple 30-day plan. Week 1 to 2, learn fundamentals. Pick one resource. I recommend PortSwigger Academy. Complete all labs for one vulnerability type and take notes. Seriously, write stuff down. Week 3, practice and study. Do CTF challenges related to that vulnerability. Read 10 bug bounty reports on that same vulnerability type and try to replicate them in your practice environment. Week 4, gentle real-world exposure. Pick a bug bounty program with wide scope. Don't submit anything yet. Just practice your recon, map out the target, test on their allowed domains, and document everything. Notice what I didn't say? I didn't say find a bug and get paid in your first month. That might happen, but it probably won't. And that's okay. Look, bug bounty hunting is hard. It's frustrating. You'll question whether you're cut out for it. But if you approach it the right way, with curiosity, patience, and a willingness to learn from failures, it's also incredibly rewarding. Not just because of the money, though, that's nice, but because you're developing a skill that very few people have. You're learning to see the invisible, to question everything, to solve puzzles that most people don't even know exist. So start small. Build your foundation. Practice legally. Study others. Embrace the grind. And remember, every expert bug hunter you admire, they all started exactly where you are right now, confused, overwhelmed, and wondering if they could actually do this. The only difference between them and the people who quit, they kept going. Now go break something, legally, of course.